Host failed to woo by Ningbing. 3-day countdown to obliteration begins. Host, get lost and attend the dual cultivation ceremony of the Daughter of Destiny by Ningbing and the Son of Destiny, Fan Yuan. This system might still leave you with an intact corpse. Failed. A cold sneer curled at the corner of my mouth. I clenched my fingers slightly, grasping the system in my palm. Then you, useless system, no longer have a reason to exist. The ball of light in my hand emitted a piercing mechanical voice. Host, what did you say? How dare you show such disrespect to this system? It struggled violently. Unfortunately, it was no different from a worm. Since you can no longer provide me with quest rewards, my tone was indifferent. Then what use are you? The system was completely enraged. The ball of light erupted with a blinding, dazzling radiance. You ungrateful thing. This system is the will of heaven itself. A mere host. Have I given you too much face? Executing the obliteration procedure ahead of schedule. The ball of light expanded rapidly, attempting to break free from my grasp. I sighed. The power of a great completion peak cultivation poured forth. Spiritual power so profound it made heaven and earth tremble surged from within me, instantly locking the ball of light in an iron grip. The system's light froze. The expanding energy receded like a tide. The ball of light shrank at a visible pace. It shrank until it was only the size of a marble. No. Impossible. The system's voice changed pitch. How can you have great completion cultivation? Your realm was clearly only at the golden core stage. This system's detection could not have been wrong. My foolish little brother. I toyed with the marble-sized ball of light in my palm and scoffed. Every time you issued a task and gave me rewards, spirit stones, medicinal pills, cultivation techniques, secret arts, and heavenly treasures, did you really think I used them to curry favor with Bai Ningbing? I swallow them all. Those gifts you thought I gave to Bai Ningbing were nothing more than fakes I found at random. Your detection? Your monitoring? In the rewards for the third task, I obtained the Primal Chaos Heaven Veiling Art, specifically designed to shield me from the detection of the Heavenly Tao. You didn't even know that? And you have the nerve to call yourself a system? The light orb shook violently. Please spare this little system. The system's attitude suddenly shifted. A pleading tone entered its voice. Host, no, master. I can continue to serve you. Don't you like Bai Ningbing? I can help you conquer her. I have 1,000 ways to make her fall hopelessly in love with you. I preferred your arrogant and untamable look from a moment ago. Me, liking Bai Ningbing, that woman who thinks she is so deep in love, but is actually stupid beyond measure. I only put on a show for you to get your task rewards. Nothing more. The system panicked completely. The light orb flickered wildly. Don't you want to go home anymore? It threw out its final trump card. This system is the channel connecting the blue star to this world. Only this system can send you back. If you kill me, you will never return to the blue star. Your family. I let out a strange cackle. The sound echoed through the empty valley. Even I felt that the laughter didn't sound like it came from a living person. My family on the blue star passed away long ago. I haven't had a home on the blue star for a long time. Didn't you know? I clenched my palm slightly. Instant refinement. The light orb let out a shrill scream. Cracks spread from its center, and golden liquid seeped from the fissures. No. The screams cut off abruptly. The orb of light shattered. It transformed into a mass of pure great Tao essence, which I swallowed into my gut. I licked my lips. System, you really are delicious. The wind swept through the valley, carrying the distant sound of boisterous drums and gongs. I closed my eyes, 1,000 thoughts racing through my mind. 3 years ago, I was hauling bricks on Blue Star when my physical body was dragged into this cultivation world by an irresistible force. When I woke up, a system had appeared in my mind. The system had only one mission. Win over Bai Ningbing, the sect leader of the White Cloud sect. Complete the mission and receive rewards. Refuse and be obliterated. I wanted to be a good person, but I had no choice. So I began to act. I played the role of a deeply devoted, silently sacrificing backup. I executed every mission flawlessly, offering tender care, braving life and death, traveling thousands of miles to deliver medicine, and shielding her from tribulations with my own body. The progress bar soared. 10%, 30%, 60%, 90%, 99%, 99, 999, It was just a hair's breadth away. Then, Bai Ningbing brought someone back. Fang Yuan. When that man first appeared at the White Cloud sect, he was wearing a gray robe washed thin and faded. His head was bowed. His eyes darted timidly toward the surrounding golden, majestic palaces. Sister Ningbing, I shouldn't have come, should I? I'm afraid of being a burden to you. Fang Yuan's voice was laced with inferiority and caution. The look in Bai Ningbing's eyes when she watched him then. It was as if she were looking at a wounded fawn. What nonsense are you saying? Just stay here and put your mind at ease. From then on, Bai Ningbing began to distance herself from me. Yi Fan, I gave the pills you gave me to Fang Yuan. Yi Fan. Fang Yuan coughed up blood after taking those pills. Yi Fan, his health isn't good. I have to take care of him. Fang Yuan was a real green tea. He never confronted me head-on. Every time he saw me, he would respectfully call me Senior Brother Yi. Once, I happened to overhear him talking to Bai Ningbing. Sister Ningbing, Senior Brother Yi is so outstanding. Standing next to him, I always feel like I'm nothing. I've been insecure since I was a child. I probably won't find a Dao companion in this lifetime. When he said this, his eyes were red and his voice was choked with emotion. Bai Ningbing was heartbroken. A month later, Bai Ningbing announced her union with Fang Yuan as Dao companions. The system screamed frantically in my head. Favorability progress is crashing. Current progress, 0.001%. Host, what are you doing? I almost laughed out loud. Fang Yuan had played Bai Ningbing so thoroughly, she was as mindless as an embryo. The system was also a brainless thing. Unfortunately, my target had never been Bai Ningbing. I opened my eyes and looked toward the distant main square of the White Cloud sect, where red silks fluttered in a festive atmosphere. To observe the ceremony, I straightened my collar. Bai Ningbing's wedding. I truly should present her with a grand gift. At the entrance to the White Cloud sect's main square, 2 disciples in silver armor blocked my path. Halt! Today is the sect master's wedding. By the sect master's order, Yi Fan and dogs are not allowed inside. I lifted my gaze. The bodies of the 2 golden core disciples were simultaneously sent flying. They crashed into the center of the square, mangled and bloody, plowing 2 long trails of crimson across the ground. The entire square fell silent in an instant as thousands of disciples attending the ceremony turned their heads in unison toward the entrance. I walked slowly into the square. Yi Fan, an old man in purple robes, rushed out from the crowd. He knelt down to check the injuries of the 2 disciples. After checking their pulses, he looked up with an ashen face. Ji Boda, law enforcement elder of the Bayun sect, spirit transformation stage. Yi Fan, to strike so ruthlessly. Do you have no sense of fellowship left in your heart? No, I didn't even stop walking. Ji Boda choked on his words, his veins bulging. He wanted to say more, but I had already passed him. High upon the platform, a large red double happiness character hung prominently. Bai Ningbing was dressed in a red wedding gown, adorned with a phoenix coronet and a silk cape. Beside her stood Fang Yuan, also in a red robe. His face was pale, and his lips trembled the moment he saw me. Bai Ningbing sighed. Yi Fan, you really came? I know how you feel about me. I have feelings for you, too. But Fang Yuan has lacked love since he was a child. No one has ever been good to him. I cannot abandon him now. She paused and looked at me earnestly. Once I have consummated the marriage with Fang Yuan, I will divorce him and then become cultivation partners with you. I will make it up to you slowly then. I marveled inwardly. Outrageous. Truly fucking outrageous. Are these words a human could actually say? Consummate with someone else first, then come back to be my cultivation partner? This woman must have refined her brain away while she was practicing. Right on cue, Fang Yuan tugged at Bai Ningbing's sleeve, his eyes reddening and his voice sounding aggrieved. Sister Ningbing, since senior brother Yi is so deeply devoted to you, perhaps you should just stay with him. I don't want to be the one to ruin the bond between you two. I'm used to being alone. He lowered his head, his shoulders trembling slightly. A textbook green tea speech. Sure enough, Bai Ningbing immediately took Fang Yuan's hand. Fang Yuan, don't say that. I won't go back on my word. I simply shook my head and looked at Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan. He shuddered, not daring to lift his head. When will you ever fight like a man? Fang Yuan looked up, barely managing to squeeze out a bitter smile. Senior brother Yi, I don't want to hurt our friendship as fellow disciples. Besides, I'm no match for you, senior brother. Fellow disciple friendship? I spread my hands wide. Then come down and fight me. I'll give you both my hands. How about it? A collective gasp rose from the square. Fang Yuan's smile froze on his face. I'll give you both my feet. I stood firmly in place. How about that? Whispers began to drift in from all directions. Isn't this Fang Yuan a bit too cowardly? Yi Fan is already giving up his hands and feet, and he still doesn't dare? A disgrace to all cultivators. Fang Yuan's face turned a deep, purplish red. In front of everyone, I cover my eyes with my hand. I'll fight you with my eyes closed. Hands, feet, and eyes, I'll forego them all. How about it? The surrounding crowd completely erupted. Ha ha! If Fang Yuan doesn't fight now, he'll truly be a laughingstock. If he still won't step up after being given such a massive handicap, he might as well go home and farm. How did I never notice before that Fang Yuan was such a sissy? Fang Yuan trembled with rage. His fists clenched until his knuckles creaked, yet he still couldn't bring himself to take that step forward. Bai Ningbing could no longer bear to watch. She drew an ice-blue longsword from her storage ring and handed it to Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan, this is my soul-bound treasure, the Ice Soul Sword. It contains 30% of my cultivation and is capable of slaying nascent soul stage cultivators. Take it and teach Yi Fan a small lesson. She glanced at me. But do not take his life. Fang Yuan gripped the Ice Soul Sword. The spiritual power emanating from the blade bolstered his confidence. He took a deep breath, a flash of ruthlessness appearing in his eyes. Senior brother Yi, you force my hand. He channeled all his spiritual energy into the Ice Soul Sword. The blade erupted with a bone-chilling light as he swung it toward my chest. The sword wind was fierce and the cold biting. Everywhere it passed, the air condensed into frost. I stood my ground, covering my eyes with my left hand. The Ice Soul Sword reached within 3 inches of me. My protective immortal light activated automatically, and a layer of pale golden radiance surfaced over my body. But against this thin veil, the moment the Ice Soul Sword made contact. Asterisk crack. Asterisk. The Ice Soul Sword began to shatter, starting from a tip. The cracks raced toward the hilt at a frantic speed. Bang! The entire sword exploded into a cloud of ice shards. The force of the recoil surged up Fang Yuan's arm and into his meridians. His chest tightened, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. His body was sent flying, slamming heavily onto the edge of the high platform. His red wedding robes were stained an even deeper shade of crimson. I lowered my hand and looked at him. Fang Yuan, is that all? Fang Yuan sprawled on the ground, his fingers clawing into the cracks between the stone slabs. He was so enraged that he spat out another mouthful of blood. Yi Fan! Ji Boda rushed forward, his purple robes fluttering, killing intent laid bare in his eyes. On the day of the sect leader's grand wedding, you have harmed others without cause and shown contempt for the sect, according to Article 7 of the White Cloud Sect's regulations. Tedious. I raised my hand and delivered a single palm strike. Ji Boda's voice came to an abrupt halt. A giant palm, condensed from the void, descended from the heavens, slamming him down along with the stone slabs beneath his feet. Asterisk boom. Asterisk, the ground collapsed into a deep pit 10 zhang wide. Ji Boda lay at the bottom of the pit, bleeding from all 7 orifices. His deity transformation stage protective spiritual light had shattered the instant the palm's shadow fell. He was as dead as could be. The entire area fell into a deathly silence. Elder G, a deity transformation elder. In one palm strike. When did Yi Fan become so strong? I brushed the dust off my sleeves and continued walking toward the high platform. Yi Fan, you've gone too far. Bai Ningbing flew down, blocking my path. The overwhelming pressure of the void refinement stage surged out, making the knees of the surrounding disciples go weak. You injured my disciples, destroyed my Dharma treasures, and killed my elder. It is I who indulged you too much in the past. The surrounding disciples were invigorated. The sect leader is taking action. Avoid refinement powerhouse. No matter how strong Yi Fan is, he can't possibly be the sect leader's match. If the upper beam is crooked, the lower ones will be askew. I struck with another palm. No bells and whistles. Bai Ningbing's protective spiritual light shattered instantly. Her entire body was sent flying. Her red wedding dress billowed in the air. The phoenix crown fell, and her hair came undone. She crashed to the ground, a trickle of blood leaking from her mouth. No, it's impossible. She raised her head, her face full of disbelief. I am at the void refinement stage. How could you possibly? I didn't answer, continuing to walk toward Bai Ningbing. Stop! A figure descended from the sky, landing in front of me and sending a ring of cracks across the ground. A woman with a curvaceous figure blocked the path to Bai Ningbing. Fury was written across her well-maintained face. Where did this junior come from, daring to act so insolently in my Bayun sect? The pupils of the surrounding disciples constricted. It's Fairy Bai Jia, the former sect master, the sect master's mother, a Dao integration stage powerhouse. As if grasping at a lifeline, Bai Ningbing spoke with a sob in her voice. Mother, he killed Elder G, and he's bullying me. Bai Jia gave her daughter a pained look. She turned to glare at me, a sharp light erupting from her eyes. I don't care what your reasons are. Wounding my daughter today makes you an enemy of Bai Jia. She raised her hand. Dao integration spiritual power condensed into a void spear in her palm. As expected, another case of like mother, like daughter. No asking for reasons, no distinguishing right from wrong, just attacking the moment they arrive. I delivered another palm strike. The same recipe, the same flavor. The void spear in Bai Jia's hand shattered. Her Dao integration stage protective spiritual light shattered, and she was sent flying. She crashed down right next to Bai Ningbing, the two of them lying side by side. A whole family, neat and tidy. The Dao integration stage. And she wasn't even a match for a single palm strike. Just what realm is he in? The disciples' exclamations were now laced with fear. Bai Jia's voice trembled. You, how old are you? How is this possible? I didn't answer, continuing to walk toward Bai Ningbing. Impudent, an elegant and dignified, beautiful woman stepped through the air. Her robes fluttered, her expression majestic. She landed 10 yards in front of me. Her entire body radiated highly oppressive fluctuations of spiritual power. Where did this ant come from to dare behave so insolently in my white cloud sect? The surrounding disciples were already numb. Fairy Bai Lianhua, the head of the Bai family, the sect leader's grandmother, tribulation transcendence. That is a tribulation transcendence powerhouse. Bai Ningbing struggled to crawl up from the ground. Stumbling, she ran toward Bai Lianhua. Grandmother, you must seek justice for me. He's insane. He killed Elder G. He hit me, and he hit Mother. Bai Lianhua gave me a cold look. As long as I, Bai, am here, there is no room for an ant like you to run wild. She raised her hand, and the power of heaven and earth came crushing down upon me. Sure enough, once again, the rot starts at the top. I struck out with another palm. Bai Lianhua was sent flying as well, crashing down beside Bai Ningbing and Bai Jia. The three of them lay there side by side. The whole family, neat and tidy. Tribulation, transcendence, realm. Also just one palm. The shock had vanished from the faces of the surrounding disciples. All that remained was terror. Bai Lianhua's eyes bulged like copper bells. I actually lost. Impossible, absolutely impossible. I didn't answer, continuing my walk toward Bai Ningbing. A terrifying surge of spiritual energy descended from the heavens and earth. Space distorted, and spiritual chi began to boil. An elegant, noble-looking old woman appeared in the square. She made no unnecessary movements. She simply stood there, yet everyone found it difficult to breathe. The Mahayana realm. She looked at me, her expression calm. To everyone's surprise, she bowed slightly and cupped her fists. Fellow Daoist, please forgive our lack of hospitality during your visit to the White Cloud sect. The crowd erupted into an uproar. Bai, Fairy Bai Sun, the Bai family ancestor, the sect master's great-grandmother, a Mahayana realm cultivator. She's actually bowing to Yi Fan. She called him fellow Daoist. Bai Ningbing struggled to lift her head from the ground and wailed, "Great-grandmother, you have to." Asterisk slap. Asterisk Bai Sun flickered in front of Bai Ningbing and struck her across the face. Bai Ningbing's right cheek swelled up instantly. "You blind, sightless fool." Bai Sun's voice was ice-cold. "Do you have any idea who you've offended?" Bai Ningbing clutched her face, stunned. Bai Jie spoke through the pain. "Mother, Ningbing is also a victim. Yi Fan, he..." Asterisk slap. Asterisk Bai Sun struck Bai Jie across the face with another slap. "What kind of family head are you? To treat a fellow Daoist in such a manner, you have utterly disgraced the Bai family." Bai Lianhua also tried to speak. "Mother, Zhi, and Ningbing." Asterisk slap. Slap. Asterisk 2 slaps. Bai Sun struck Bai Lianhua on both sides of her face, one after the other. "Have you lived all these years in vain? They're like this because you spoiled them." Both of Bai Lianhua's cheeks were now symmetrically swollen. Her tears flowed uncontrollably. Bai Sun turned around and cupped her fists toward me again, her attitude respectful. "Fellow Daoist, may I ask if this handling of the matter satisfies you?" I looked at her. Satisfied? Satisfied my ass. Bai Sun's smile froze. The air solidified. A flash of anger flickered in her eyes, but it was quickly suppressed. "Fellow Daoist, this old woman has already punished them." Her voice dropped half a tone. "The White Cloud sect indeed has its lapses, but you are taking things too far. After all, this is the White Cloud sect." The moment the words left her mouth, the entire White Cloud sect's protective array roared to life. 108 formation pillars rose from the ground, swirling with 7-colored radiant light. Between the pillars, countless threads of spiritual energy wove into a net, forming a gargantuan array that covered 10,000 miles. Even the sky was dyed gold. The earth trembled, and the mountain peaks resonated. Bai Sun stood at the heart of the great array. Her aura surged several times over as her robes billowed without wind and her white hair flew wildly. The White Cloud sect's protector array gathers the power of 108 spirit veins. Even a late-stage Great Ascension cultivator must retreat before its edge. She raised her hand. 100,000 streaks of sword light shot out from the array pillars, all pointing directly at me. "Fellow Daoist, please turn back." The surrounding disciples recovered from their fear, their spirits soaring. The protector array. This is the White Cloud sect's trump card. 100,000 sword lights are enough to slaughter a Great Ascension cultivator. Yi Fan is likely doomed this time. I looked down at my right hand. Sure enough, once again, the rot starts at the top. I raised my hand and struck with a single palm. It pierced through the 100,000 sword lights. It shattered the 108 array pillars. It crushed the spiritual energy net that spanned 10,000 miles. Bai Sun, along with her great array, was sent flying by that single strike. She crashed down right next to Bai Ningbing, Bai Jie, and Bai Lianhua. The 4 of them lay there side by side. A whole family, neat and tidy. I really am quite kind, aren't I? I arranged for them to be together every single time. Fairy Bai Sun. A great ascension, cultivator plus the protector array, and still not even a match for a single palm strike. The surrounding disciples could no longer form complete sentences. Bai Ningbing was dumbfounded. Bai Jie was doubly dumbfounded. Bai Lianhua was triply dumbfounded. Bai Sahin was quadruply dumbfounded. I picked at my ear. Much thunder, but little rain. Is there anyone else? Bai Sahin scrambled up from the ground. Without a word, she dropped to both knees. A Mahayana stage ancestor was kneeling. Senior, spare my life. The White Cloud sect is no more. The Bai family is gone too, truly gone. Everyone capable of fighting is already here. Her forehead slammed against the shattered stone slabs, making a rhythmic thudding sound. I didn't look at her. I turned and walked toward Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was still sprawled at the edge of the high platform. The series of events just now had nearly scared the soul out of his body. Seeing me walking toward him, his eyes instantly widened to their limit. You, don't come over here. He retreated, scrambling and crawling backward. His wedding robes dragged on the ground, bunching into long folds. Please, I beg you, spare me. His voice no longer sounded human. It was shrill and thin. It was all by Ningbing. She's the one who seduced me. I don't love her at all. She was the one who insisted on being with me. Bai Ningbing's entire body jolted. Propping up her battered body, she looked at Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan, what did you say? Didn't you say that you would always be good to me? Didn't you say that you only wanted to be with me in this lifetime? Fang Yuan didn't look at her at all, intent only on kowtowing to me. Senior Brother Yi. No, Senior Yi. Anja Historia. Please spare me. I'll never dare to do it again. Bai Ningbing is just a fool. A hopelessly irredeemable fool. I only went along with whatever she said, so I could live off her. When have I ever loved her? Bai Ningbing's pupils lost focus in an instant. Looking at Fang Yuan's pathetic display, I felt it was about enough. I lightly flicked my finger. The fragment of Bai Ningbing's life-bound flying sword landed before Fang Yuan. I'll give you a chance. My voice was very calm. Kill Bai Ningbing, and you live. Fang Yuan stared at the fragment on the ground, his fingers trembling. Bai Ningbing stared at Fang Yuan, her entire body turning cold. 3 breaths of time passed. Fang Yuan snatched up the fragment. He turned to look at Bai Ningbing. There was no emotion in his eyes, only a desperate craving to survive. Bai Ningbing, if you want to blame someone, blame yourself. Gritting his teeth, he raised the fragment and thrust it toward Bai Ningbing's heart. Bai Ningbing looked at the face that had once said, Sister Ningbing, I will always be good to you, now twisted like a demon's. Her heart died completely in that moment, but her body's survival instinct remained. Fang Yuan's cultivation was meager to begin with, and now, overcome with terror, his strike was clumsy and erratic. Bai Ningbing sidestepped, dodging the fatal blow. At the same time, she struck Fang Yuan's chest with a backhand palm. Fang Yuan spat out a mouthful of blood, and the fragment slipped from his hand. Bai Ningbing seized the fragment mid-air and plunged it ruthlessly into Fang Yuan's heart. Why? Her voice was hoarse. Why did you lie to me? Fang Yuan's eyes widened, blood spilling from the corners of his mouth. He tried to say something, but only a gurgling sound escaped his throat. His body slumped over, devoid of life. The son of Providence, dead at the hands of the daughter of Providence. Fun, truly fun, covered in blood, Bai Ningbing stumbled toward me. She collapsed to her knees before me, lifting her tear-streaked face. Yifan, I was wrong. I only now realize who was the one truly good to me. Are you willing to give me another chance? I will spend the rest of my life making it up to you. I looked down at her. Once this face caused the system to bombard me with tasks. Once, for the sake of those rewards, I showered this face with warmth and meticulous care. But from beginning to end, I had only one thought in my mind. Complete the tasks as quickly as possible and get the rewards. That was all. Bai Ningbing. My voice was calm. I have never loved you. Bai Ningbing's body froze. No, that's not possible. She shook her head as tears gushed out uncontrollably. You were so good to me. You did so much for me. How could you possibly not love me? A crimson silhouette swept down from the horizon, landing beside me as a soft, slender hand gently linked through my arm. Faina. I turned my head. A woman in a red dress stood beside me, her face beaming with a smile. Her features were breathtaking. There was a hint of languid elegance in her eyes. Every smile and gesture of hers was soul-stirringly beautiful. Lu Rian, my master, and the only person in this world I love. Your master has come to take you home. The surrounding disciples erupted into an uproar. Lu Rian, that's Lu Rian, the Hall Master of the 9 Underworlds Hall, a supreme existence of the immortal realm. Even though the 9 Underworlds Hall has only its Hall Master, Lu Rian is at the great circle of the Mahayana stage. She's actually Yi Fan's master? And what did she call Yi Fan? Fana? That's far too intimate. I took the opportunity to wrap my arm around Lu Rian's waist, drawing her closer into my embrace. She did not resist. Instead, she leaned obediently against my shoulder, a faint smile playing on her lips. I turned to look at Bai Ningbing, who was kneeling on the ground. The one I love has always been my master. From beginning to end, there has only ever been her. The tears on Bai Ningbing's face were gone, replaced only by a deathly gray pallor. She looked at Lu Rian, and for the first time, a sense of inferiority rose within her. Lu Rian was more beautiful, had a better figure, and possessed a higher cultivation level. She had been utterly defeated. I looked at Bai Sahin as she scrambled up from the ground. From this day forth, the White Cloud sect shall pay annual tribute to the 9 Underworlds Hall. Without any hesitation, Bai Sahin lowered her head and bowed deeply. This old woman obeys. As for the matter of the tribute, I pointed to the kneeling Bai Ningbing. Let her be the one to deliver it. Bai Sahin froze for a moment, then hurriedly nodded. Yes, senior. Upon hearing this, a glimmer of light flickered in Bai Ningbing's eyes. Asterisk, he's still letting me go to the 9 Underworld Hall to deliver the tribute. Asterisk, he still has feelings for me, doesn't he? Asterisk, he's just being stubborn. Asterisk, he must still like me. Asterisk, the 9 Underworlds Hall. The hall was magnificent, yet she lived there alone. Until I arrived, we returned to the main hall. Only then did Lu Rian let go of my arm. She turned to face me, a hint of playfulness in her eyes. Tell me, why didn't you kill Bai Ningbing? With your temperament, it's impossible for you to have left her alive. I smiled, keeping her in suspense. Master, I left a grand gift for Bai Ningbing. You will find out soon enough. Lu Rian didn't press further, her red lips curving slightly. Fanner, you are so wicked. I suddenly reached out and swept her up into my arms. She let out a soft cry and instinctively wrapped her arms around my neck. What are you doing? Master. I looked in her eyes, my voice low. I missed you so much. Lu Rian's face flushed. She gave me a playful, reproving swat. So impatient, getting up to no good the moment you return. I carried her toward the inner chamber. Didn't Master say I was wicked? Lu Rian buried her face in my chest, the tips of her ears turning crimson. The first year, Bai Ningbing came to the 9 Serenity Hall to offer tribute. She had dressed with great care. She chose her most beautiful gown, styled her hair into the most exquisite bun. She had even applied her makeup with meticulous detail. But when she stepped into the main hall, what she saw was this. I sat in the seat of honor with Lu Rian by my side. A plate of Osmanus cake was set before her. I picked up a piece and brought it to her lips. Master, open up. Lu Rian obediently opened her mouth and took a small bite. However, she accidentally left a few crumbs at the corner of her mouth. I set down the cake and leaned in. I used my lips to gently brush the crumbs away from the corner of her mouth. Lu Rian's face instantly flushed crimson, and she gave me a light shove. Fanner, there are outsiders present. Only then did I notice Bai Ningbing's presence. I spared her a faint, indifferent glance. Leave the tribute and withdraw. Bai Ningbing's hands were trembling. She looked at Lu Ruyan's rosy lips. She looked at my doting gaze. Endless regret surged within her heart. If only she hadn't chosen Fan Yuan back then. She set the tribute down and fled the Hall of Nine Nether as if escaping. I winked at Lu Ruyan. Lu Ruyan chided me playfully. You wicked thing, you did that on purpose, didn't you? Master wrongs me. I simply wanted to kiss you. As for her seeing it, that is her honor. Lu Ruyan couldn't help but laugh. She tapped my forehead with her fingertip. Smooth talker. The following year, Bai Ningbing came to the Hall of Nine Nether to offer tribute once again. This time, she had not dressed up with any care. Her face was haggard, with obvious dark circles under her eyes. When she entered the great hall, it was empty. A sliver of hope rose in her heart. He isn't here, could it be? Clang! The ring of a sword echoed from the rear hall. She followed the sound, passing through the long corridor. She reached the martial arts arena in the back of the hall. There she witnessed this scene. I held a long sword, sparring with Lu Ruyan. The tips of our swords met and parted, fluttering like a pair of butterflies. I thrust my blade forward. Lu Ruyan sidestepped to dodge, but accidentally lost her footing and tumbled backward. I tossed my sword aside. In one swift motion, I caught her by the waist and pulled her into my arms. Why is Master being so careless? Lu Ruyan wrapped her arms around my neck, her eyes rippling with emotion. I was careless? It was clearly you playing tricks. Whatever Master says is right. I lowered my head and pressed a kiss onto her forehead. I accept my punishment. Bai Ningbing stood in the shadows, her nails digging deep into her palms. How could they be so intimate? This should have belonged to her. The third year, Bai Ningbing came again. Her mental state was even worse than it had been over the previous 2 years. A morbid obsession burned in her eyes. She didn't believe it. She didn't believe that Yi Fan truly didn't love her anymore. How could all those years of kindness have been a total lie? She had to ask him herself to be sure. She rushed into the great hall, but saw no one. She ran through the inner chambers, but saw no one. She pushed open the final door. The scream caught in her throat. Inside the hall, curtains hung low and red candles flickered. Lu Ruyan and I were locked in an embrace on the couch. Lu Ruyan leaned back in my arms, her eyes filled with sudation. Hearing a sound, I turned my head. I saw Bai Ningbing's stunned face. 3 years, and you still haven't learned to knock. Lu Ruyan didn't panic. She simply leaned against my shoulder and tilted her chin toward Bai Ningbing. Get out. Bai Ningbing's body trembled. She looked at Lu Ruyan's radiant expression. She looked at my nonchalant attitude. 3 years. For 3 years. She had suffered day and night at the Bayun sect, replaying every kindness I'd shown her, trying to find a single shred of evidence that I loved her. And for those 3 years, the two of them were here. Why? Bai Ningbing's voice was hoarse beyond recognition. Why is it her? Why? I laughed. Because she is Lu Ruyan. She is worthy of my love. And you are not. Bai Ningbing's Dao heart shattered completely. 3 years of obsession, 3 years of resentment, and 3 years of self-consolation vanished into nothingness in an instant. She went mad. A frenzied light erupted in her eyes. Lu Ruyan, it's all because of you. I will kill you. The spiritual energy within her began to riot. A mysterious power descended from the sky, surging into her meridians. Bolstered by the power of the heavenly Tao, her cultivation base began to soar. Void refinement, Tao integration, tribulation transcendence, great ascension. Beyond the great perfection of the great ascension stage, yet just below that of an immortal. Her aura was violent and chaotic, yet it was so powerful it was suffocating. She struck toward Lu Ruyan with a palm. Lu Ruyan raised an eyebrow, remaining motionless. Fan her. She seems to be angry. I kissed her cheek and rose from the bed. It's only right that she is. I raised my right hand and formed a hand seal. The wind from Bai Ningbing's palm strike was only halfway to its target when her expression suddenly changed. A surge of black qi welled up in her chest. She spat out a mouthful of black blood. Her aura began to plummet. Mahayana, great perfection. Mahayana realm, tribulation transcendence realm, Tao integration realm, void refinement realm, soul transformation realm, nascent soul realm. Her cultivation realm was falling frantically, and there was no way to stop it. What? How is this happening? She clutched her chest, her face filled with terror. My cultivation? Why is my cultivation falling? I stood before her, looking down. The Tao heart-seated demon method. Have you heard of it? The deeper the obsession in your heart, the deeper the seed takes root. Today, the seed has matured. Bai Ningbing's eyes widened. This is the moment I have been waiting for. My fingers moved slightly, and an invisible thread extended from within Bai Ningbing, pulling a massive mass of providence. The source of the heavenly Tao. Bai Ningbing was merely a medium, a catalyst. My true target from beginning to end has always been the heavenly Tao. An illusory figure was dragged out of Bai Ningbing's body. I held it aloft in midair. It was a mass of humanoid light with blurred features. Yet it radiated an aura that made the entire world tremble. You, how is this possible? The heavenly Tao's voice trembled. You are just a human. It's impossible. Foolish. I interrupted. Did you think I was just acting at the White Cloud sect? While I acted, I used the system to deduce you. Deducing your rules of operation, your source of power, and your connection with the son and daughter of destiny. I found a loophole. The daughter of destiny is the vessel for your will. She is linked to your origin. As long as her Tao heart shatters, I can extract you from this world. The heavenly way struggles in my palm, but it is to no avail. You've been plotting this for a long time. From the very beginning, you. That's right. I tightened my grip on its neck. From a moment you forcibly brought me to this world and bound me to that trash system. I have been waiting for this day. You used the will of heaven to manifest as a system, giving me those disgusting tasks to fawn over Bai Ningbing, all just to make me a stepping stone for Fang Yuan. Do you think that because you are the heavenly way, you can manipulate all living beings as you please? Did you think I would just obediently submit? Foolish. Back on Blue Star, I read over 2,000 novels. I saw through your little tropes long ago. The light of the heavenly way dims, its voice growing weak. No. Please. Bai Ningbing kneels on the ground, watching this scene. Finally, she understands everything. Yi Fan's kindness toward her. It was all because of the system formed by the heavenly way. He never loved her. Never. Everything was a lie. She was merely a chess piece, a tool to be used. Yet she had arrogantly believed herself to be the player. The sensation of her Tao heart shattering strikes again, 100 times more intense than before. Her cultivation base plummets. Her face withers, and her black hair turns white. In a few short breaths, the once peerlessly beautiful sect master of the White Cloud sect was transformed into a withered old woman on the brink of death. I didn't spare her another glance. I refined the heavenly Tao within my grasp. The essence of the great Tao transformed into pure energy, half surging into my body and the other half into Lu Ruyan's. I took Lu Ruyan's hand, and our auras soared simultaneously. Asterisk buzz. Asterisk the world roared as boundless celestial light descended. The immortal realm. I looked down at the withered and aged Bai Ningbing, a smile playing on my lips. Do you like this grand gift? Bai Ningbing lacked the strength to answer. She could only kneel there powerlessly as tears trickled from her shriveled eyes. I turned to look at Lu Ruyan. Master, let us go. Lu Ruyan placed her hand in my palm and gave a radiant smile. Where to? I grinned. Master, I want to take you back to see the place where I grew up. Lu Ruyan's eyes were filled with tenderness. The place where my Fanner grew up? Then your master is truly looking forward to it. Hand in hand, we soared into the air, piercing through the firmament of this world. Behind us, Bai Ningbing watched our receding figures with agony. If only she hadn't chosen Fang Yuan back then, would the ending have been different? Unfortunately, there are no ifs. Because in Lu Ruyan's world, from beginning to end, I was the only option. Blue Star, China, Jiangsu, my old house. After many years, I had returned with Lu Ruyan. This old two-bedroom apartment was the inheritance my parents left for me. It wasn't large, but it held all of my memories. I pushed open the door, and a familiar scent wafted toward me. Lu Ruyan looked around curiously. Is this where you grew up? Yes. I opened a window to let the room air out. A bit humble, isn't it? No. She shook her head, her eyes earnest. It's very cozy. I smiled and gave her a tour of the house. The living room, the kitchen, the bedroom, the study. Wait. The study. I stopped in my tracks, suddenly remembering something. Master, why don't you sit in the living room for a moment while I tidy up the study? All right. Lu Ruyan didn't suspect a thing and sat obediently on the sofa. I rushed into the study and shut the door. I turned on the computer and located the study materials hidden deep within the folders. Just as I was about to painfully click delete, the door was pushed open. Fanner, what is this? Lu Ruyan stood at the door, holding a magazine with a vulgar cover, a woman wearing a bikini. My hand trembled, and I shut off the screen at light speed. Who the hell put something like that onto the sofa cushions? That, Master. I cleared my throat. This is a type of literary work from Blue Star. A literary work? Lu Ruyan flipped through it, her face instantly turning red. You call this a literary work? The content is very profound. I spoke nonsense with a straight face. It mainly explores human aesthetics and philosophical reflections on the relationship between the sexes. Enough. Lu Ruyan tossed the magazine at my face. Where do you get all these crooked arguments? I laughed sheepishly and put the magazine away. Lu Ruyan huffed, though she wasn't truly angry, and began curiously inspecting the items on the desk. What is this? She asked, pointing at the computer. A computer, a type of spiritual tool from Blue Star. It could do many things like writing, drawing, watching videos. Videos. They're moving pictures with sound. It's a bit like a memory stone. The moment the computer screen lit up, Lu Ruyan subconsciously flinched back. Why did it light up on its own? I stifled a laugh. It's normal. Don't be afraid, Master. She glared at me and leaned in stubbornly. I wasn't afraid. I was just being on guard. I casually clicked on a TV drama. Master, take a look at this. On the screen, the male and female leads happened to be embracing and kissing. Lu Ruyan's face instantly flushed crimson. Why are you showing me such things? It's a romance drama. It's perfectly normal. I shrugged innocently. Does Master not want to learn about Blue Star's way of love? Lu Ruyan turned her face away, the tips of her ears burning red. Who would want to learn such things? Despite her words, her eyes involuntarily stole glances at the screen. In the days that followed, Lu Ruyan began her journey of exploration on Blue Star. Feinea, why is it so cold inside this box? Is there an ice-type demonic beast inside? Master, that's called a refrigerator. It's used to preserve food. Why would you use an ice-type demonic beast to preserve food? It's not a beast. It uses electricity. Never mind. Let me explain what electricity is. 4 hours later. So, electricity is a form of lightning power harnessed by mortals. You could put it that way. Lu Ruyan nodded thoughtfully, her gaze toward the refrigerator becoming a bit more reverent. Then what is this little square? Why does it glow too? That's a phone. You can use it to talk to people far away, watch videos, or play games. Play games? What kind of games? I downloaded a match. 3 game for her. 6 hours later. Feinea, why won't these blue and purple ones disappear? Master, you need 3 of the same color to clear them. I know that, but they just won't appear together. That's called randomness. It's not something you can control. What randomness? This magical tool is clearly making things difficult for me on purpose. Fanner, someone at the door is saying something about takeout. Oh, the delivery I ordered is here. I handed the milk tea to my master. She held the cup, took a sip, and her eyes lit up. What is this? It's delicious. Milk tea, a drink from Planet Blue. Is there more? I'll order more for you later. Drinking too much causes cavities. I am an immortal. I do not get cavities. Even so, you shouldn't drink too much at once. At night, I finished cleaning the dishes and returned to the bedroom. I found Lu Ruyin standing in front of the bookshelf. She was holding a book, her face as red as a cooked shrimp. I walked over to take a look. Holy crap, a smutty book. Who tucked this into the hidden compartment of my bookshelf? What is Master looking at? I asked playfully. Lu Ruyin's hand twitched, nearly dropping the book. In nothing. It's nothing. Is that so? I leaned in. Then why is Master's face so red? It's the heat. It's winter right now. Immortal beings get hot too. Suppressing a laugh, I reached out and slid the book from her grasp. Caught off guard, she let the book slip into my hands. I flipped to the page she had been reading and raised an eyebrow. Oh, you've reached this part already. I haven't read it yet. I was just flipping through it casually. Is that so? Then does Master know what happens next? I don't. How about I explain it to you, Master? No need. Then will you read it yourself? Lu Ruyin's face was flushed all the way down her neck. You're doing this on purpose. I would never. These are study materials after all. Do you want to learn, Master? Who would want to learn such things? I leaned in close to her ear with a smile. Didn't you tell me to study hard, Master? Are we still studying? Lu Ruyin's breathing grew ragged. She glared at me, her eyes filled with bashful indignation, yet she didn't push me away. After a few moments of silence, she turned her face away and spoke in a voice as faint as a mosquito's buzz. Yes. I carried Master back to the bed. Master, just studying isn't enough. We need plenty of practice. A rosy blush spread across Lu Ruyin's face. The positions described in there are just too embarrassing. Later on, Master learned how to use chopsticks to eat hot pot. Though the first time, it was so spicy that tears streamed down her face. Master learned how to use her phone to order takeout. Though the first time, she accidentally ordered 10 servings of the same milk tea. Master learned how to use a computer to watch anime. Although she did ask me why they had to take their clothes off to transform the first time she saw a magical girl transformation in an anime. One day, she asked me, Fanner, will we always stay like this? I looked at her and answered earnestly, as long as Master doesn't grow tired of me, we will always be like this. She smiled and leaned against my shoulder. How could I ever grow tired of you? I placed my hand on her shoulder. Are you homesick? Do you want to go back and visit? No. She shook her head. Wherever you are, that is home. I pulled her closer, looking at the starry sky outside the window. The stars here were not as brilliant as those in the cultivation world. Yet, they possessed a unique tranquility. Master, I love you. Lu Ruyin's face flushed once more. Burying her head in my chest, her voice was muffled. I, too. Wait, you're being naughty again.